Kentucky Senator Rand Paul joins me now. Mr. Senator, Trump is reportedly leaning towards expanding military operations in Iran. Is that what you're hearing, and do you approve of an expansion?
You know, I guess you'd have to ask the question, are we better off because of the war or worse off? You could argue that defeating them militarily gives us a better position to negotiate a peace, but you're also negotiating with people who you killed the Ayatollah. His son is now in charge. You blew off the leg of the son, disfigured him, and they've been insulting him in the media since. So he may not be inclined to negotiate. The other thing that is likely worse since the war started is that the Strait of Hormuz is now militarized and had not been previously. So if you look at this thing and say, what's better, what's worse, it's pretty easy to make the point that we aren't a lot better off than we were before the war.
So do we not expand a military operation?
Well, if it's not working well, I don't know that expanding it will make it better. I think that the president needs room to negotiate a peace. I'm for trying to get a negotiated settlement. I've told the president as much. And I think part of the president would like to see peace happen. But I don't think that the reports that the hardliners are gone and now we have these soft-hearted moderates in place, it just isn't true. You have to imagine if they killed your father and now you're the Ayatollah and they blew your leg off and they disfigured you and they make fun of you in the media and they threaten still to kill you, whether or not that makes you a person inclined to want to negotiate. So there's a lot of things at odds here. And I think we could get to a negotiated settlement. And the one thing I do respect from the Trump administration is they have said they are willing to trade sanctions for removal of the enriched uranium. That's not something you have to wait to prove. If they can get the 440 kilograms of enriched uranium removed, they should trade sanction relief for that. You have to trade something. The military defeat has not been enough. They will have to trade something to get that enriched uranium out of Iran.
Next one, Mr. Senator. I think Republicans have a problem trying to push Trump's agenda. Lindsey Graham has passed. Mitch McConnell has been absent for many weeks now. How are you going to get things done? And do you have any idea when Senator McConnell might be coming back?
You know, I hope he comes back soon. I hope he's getting better. The biggest problem we face in the country is something that doesn't go away no matter who's here, and that is the deficit. We're running a $2 trillion deficit. We have 25% inflation in the last 4 or 5 years. Everybody calls this affordability. They should call it inflation. That's what it is. 25% inflation over 5 years, and if your wages haven't gone up 25%, you're being squeezed. So there's a whole big swath of America unhappy right now that can't fill up their tank of gas, that is restricting their travel and their vacations because their purchasing power is going down because of the debt, because of spending money we don't have. And that explains it rather than saying, oh my goodness, why are things not affordable? They're not affordable because we're devaluing the currency every day by printing it up to pay for the debt.
Okay. Your opinion is always consistent on this. That's it's good to see you. Senator Rand Paul, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Thanks for that.